Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bulletproof Underwear, episode number 234. I am your co-host, Yam Juice.
And I am your co-host, Flex.
I thought you were going to whip them off there for a second, you know. And today...
Wait, we don't want to see my eyes.
Did you get them? Did you get a scleral tattoo? Today, our guest is none other than Aaron, whatever you're calling yourself these days. I noticed your new thing on Twitter with the pumpkins. What is that?
I just photoshopped a bunch of the facial expressions from my profile picture onto a pumpkin, and that's just going to be my Halloween profile picture.
You know what? You're a strange cat, Charlie Brown.
I like to think it's my charm.
There you go. Well, you're looking pretty
keep
cool
the
in
glasses
those
on.
shades.
I dig this look.
You know, I gotta say the hair is pretty damn impressive. Like, Jesus.
Oh, yeah. That's 2 years of not going to the salon, boys.
Dang.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
How long is that?
I don't know. I haven't cut it for 20-something years. I mean, it's like it's not getting any longer. It hit terminal velocity. You know, your hair has to stop growing at some point, or it has to stop getting longer. Otherwise, your eyebrows will be down to your feet.
I never thought about it that way. Of course, my bangs, if I were to take this hat off, would make my eyes invisible to the normal human being.
All right. Well, then you could put the sunglasses back on over it and really freak people out.
Do a face reveal just to turn out I have no eyes whatsoever. That's why I wear the sunglasses, so I don't freak people out.
Yeah, what would be cool is to paint green on your glasses lenses, and then to use a chroma key and just have like you can see right through your head.
Then you could green screen in that video of the guy from Miami Vice taking off his glasses. Like, oh, I almost knocked the mic stand over.
Now, I never watched that show, but I know that guy, whatever his name is, I can't even remember. Was it
David Caruso?
Wasn't it CSI or something like that?
CSI Miami.
Yep.
I don't know why, but that kind of shit never. I mean, I know they have like 1,000 different versions of CSI, but it never appealed to me. I never got into that.
I watched a few episodes just out of boredom, and I was like, I'm sure this is good to somebody somewhere. I wasn't digging it so much.
Yeah. Now, I've also never seen the Hawaii Five-0. Is that what you were saying it was, Hawaii Five-0?
I've never heard of Hawaii Five-0 before.
Well, they did a remake a couple of years ago of the TV show. I remember watching the original Hawaii Five-0.
With Jack Lord.
Jack Lord, yeah. Get those white stripes going here.
Ooh.
My favorite part was where, it's like they're doing the opening credits, and it's like, Chin Lo as Juan Lee or whatever it would be. It's like, why not just use the guy's real name? It's like just as good.
I wonder why they don't use more actors' real names when they're doing like shows and movies. I just feel like if I was doing it, it'd be way easier to remember because someone would call out like, "Hey, John," and I'm like, "Who? What? Excuse? Who's that? I don't know that."
Well, it's interesting that you say that because I've got a project that I'd like to pitch to you, and you'll be the main character, and the main character's name is Clem Fandango.
Go on.
No, just kidding.
That's a good name though. I like that. Keep that in
Not as
mind.
good
That'll
as Johnny Yuckets.
That's a name that can take you somewhere.
That's right. That's right. So, did you ever want to act? Would you act if you had the chance?
Oh, absolutely, dude. I've done just silly voices and like gotten into improv before, and it was fun. So I figure if I did it with the script, maybe it'd be pretty fun too. If someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, I want you to do a reading for this," I'd be like, sir, why not?"
Yeah. Did you ever see any of Drifter's old stuff that he used to do, where he would do like scripted stuff and like these if it were realistic stuff?
I saw that, but I never saw like any scripted skits that I can remember off the top of my head. I just remember that Mirror's Edge video of him running over fences and buildings and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. He had a video out last week where he was talking about 2016 was a super bad year for him, and he had some troubles and some heartaches and stuff. People are trashing him. People are trying to do takedown videos, like gotcha videos, like Drifter's a scumbag. It's like that could be that's so far from the truth. He's such a cool guy.
Drifter hates 2016. Is he year racist?
That's it. Yeah.
People seem to have a very negative bias towards 2016 that I personally don't see. I thought 2016 was a very good year. I met some very nice folks that year. I've finished my chemotherapy.
Are you done with it for good?
Oh yeah, it's gone. I'm a year off now, actually.
Wow, that is great.
Mm-hmm. And what else happened? Oh yeah, I took a nice vacation down to San Diego for a weekend. It was nice. I thought it was a good time. 2016 for me personally, pretty good year.
Pretty good year. All right. Well, how old are you these days? Are you 21?
I am 21 in February.
Wow. It's like how long have we known you? It's like you were a kid.
I was 16 when I met you guys.
Yeah, maybe. Are you sure you weren't 15? I don't know. It's like
no, I think I was 16. Yeah. Maybe I was 15, going close to 16, but it was definitely like I was an itty bitty boy.
Yeah, it's just weird watching people like go from a kid to a man.
You're a man. Go from no hair to beautiful flowing mane.
Beautiful locks. Now, your hair, is it different than it used to be? Because I've heard of people on chemotherapy said when their hair grew back, it wasn't the same. It was like finer or thicker
3 or
something.
4 months, it was actually curly. Instead of long and straight, it was like curling up into a fro and then kind of just falling down for a bit. It was It was interesting. I didn't know what was going on, but I used it to. I think I did a Shaggy for my Halloween costume that year.
You mean like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo?
Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, yeah.
What would you do for a Scooby snack?
And I just went around.
Scoob, let's get a Scooby snack.
Everyone I talked to, I just went zoinks.
Yep.
Just at the most random times.
Zoinks.
Didn't somebody just announce that they're gonna redo Scooby-Doo and they changed the animation, the art?
What?
So all of them are different. They changed all the artwork.
Are you saying someone's pitching a gritty live-action reboot of Scooby-Doo?
No, it's not live action. It's still cartoon, but they I don't know. They kind of Rick and Mortified, the characters a little bit, the way they look.
Oh, I love that show.
Everybody's always talking about it, but I've never seen it.
Oh God, do you get Hulu?
Rick and Morty is fantastic.
If you got Hulu,
Do you have to have Hulu?
Oh yeah.
You'll laugh your ass off, man. And I mean,
it'll make you really laugh, and it'll also make you really contemplate some things about life.
Life. Oh, I want to stay as far away from that shit as possible, man. That's disturbing.
Oh man, that is a great show.
it is.
Yeah. Well, let's see. The most recent thing I just got finished was Netflix. I watched the two seasons of The Get Down. Did you see that?
I've heard of that. I have not seen it myself personally. I only saw it was recently added, and then I just kind of went about my day watching Luke Cage, I think.
I still haven't got around to watching Luke Cage.
Mm.
But I did
Very
watch
highly
Jessica
recommend.
Jones. I did watch Jessica Jones. That's where they introduced him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean Agent Locke?
No, I don't think so. I think it was definitely Luke Cage.
No. I'm saying the actor. I don't know his name, but
Wait.
the actor who was Luke Cage also did the voice and the appearance on the video game for Halo 5.
Really? Hold on, I gotta check this now. His name is Mike Coulter, I believe.
Oh yeah, that sounds familiar.
Let me see. Halo. Oh, that's Halo 5. He was not in Halo 5, but he was Locke in the Nightfall series of short films.
That wasn't his voice in the Halo movie? In the Halo game, I mean? But that,
No, not in the game, but it was him in Nightfall.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Well, in that show, they had his head greased up to a gleaming bowling ball shine.
I think that's the number one rule of animation is all the bald guys have to be shiny.
Yeah.
You have to be able to see your reflection when you look deep into their head cavity.
Yeah. Now, what would you do if you started going bald? Would you freak out? I
Probably
mean, for
at
real.
first. No, definitely I would at first, and I would just kind of grow to accept it, probably own it. Just kind of like get the beard trimmed so it looks kind of nice with the no hair on the head. I think I would make it work.
Yeah. Would you do a comb over?
No, probably not.
I'd shoot my head, man.
Just straight up, I'd just get rid of all of it. Like, it's not going to stay. Might as well just say goodbye.
Yeah. You know, I saw a really mean documentary one time. I think it may have been on Netflix or something. It was called Comb Over. And it was just basically humiliating guys who wore comb overs.
Oh.
It was very mean. There's this one young guy. I think he was in the Bay Area. He's a hipster. I'm about to sneeze.
Bless you.
He was a hipster, so hip, in fact, that he wore like these short sleeve, collared shirts with the collar, one button undone, with these thin jeans and kind of loafers, and he shaved his head on the top, left the sides, and he grew a comb over with a stylized comb over kind of thing, so it was like zigzag. And that was his look.
Interesting.
And he, sprayed down the little fingers of the comb over.
Of course.
So he was wearing a fake comb over. I don't know. I mean, I feel sorry for these guys, because you can tell that if you see a guy with a comb over, he feels bad. He feels bad that he's bald.
Oh, absolutely. I sympathize too with that losing your hair thing, because I didn't have all this a few years ago, and I was actually freaking out about it when it first happened, and I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? But I never got to like comb over status. I just kind of got to like buzz it, and it's still kind of just soft and fuzzy kind of status.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had a haircut in a long time, and maybe people have asked me if I ever would cut my hair like normal. And I figure if I ever did, I would want to cut it into like a flat top like Duke Nukem.
Dude. Balls of steel.
Interesting choice.
or like, Michael Douglas in Falling Down. That kind of a look.
This is K-Tit. K-T-I-T.
I already have his glasses.
Really?
Yeah,
You
this
got
is,
Duke's glasses?
Oh, yeah,
no. This is like
wait.
the falling down glasses, basically.
Oh.
Not exactly, but similar.
I can see it. If
You
I was
forgot your briefcase.
If I was
Only
to cut my
people
hair
that saw the
now,
movie will get that.
if I was to cut my hair now, I'd probably go for like rugged 90s Stallone kind of thing, but I'd still keep my facial hair, so I feel like I'd make it work better.
When you say rugged 90s, you're talking about lots of product, right?
Absolutely.
Yo, Adrian.
I would make the switch like that, man. Just anything to get that look.
Definitely. You know what'd be cool too is the Don Johnson like Miami Vice, 3-day stubble at all times.
I see what you're saying. Nah, that couldn't work on me. My beard gets too curly to make that happen. So it'd just be like the tiniest piece of hair, and it'd still have like 3 swirlies in there.
Miami Vice, I think, was that was the creative like idea behind that Grand Theft Auto game.
You think so?
I
Yeah,
think so.
Vice City. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of references to Miami. There's actually a song from Miami Vice on one of the radio stations. It's the theme for Crockett is on one of the radio stations. So very obvious homage to Miami Vice in that respect.
What was so great about that show is that they were so fucking serious. It's nose candy. They were saying this dialogue and doing this stuff and dressed the way they were dressed. Don Johnson's wearing like a pink shirt with a white jacket with the sleeves rolled up on the jacket on a sports coat.
I think there's actually a suit like that in Vice City too.
There probably is.
He was swabbing chick.
He was very cool. It was hip. Now it was fun to play the Miami Vice game. Before the episode, you and your friends is like make predictions. How many bad guys are going to die? How many good guys are going to die? And how many innocent bystanders are going to die? And then keep tabs.
That sounds like a great game. TV's given the world so much.
Well, like the Vice City and Grand Theft Auto is not violent. Come on.
Nah. There's no violence in that. Come on. That game didn't deserve an M rating. That deserved to be an E. Everyone should get to experience that game for sure.
That's right.
That whole game shaped my love of 80s music, man.
I know. You know what? I remember you were doing a Twitch playthrough of it, and I was watching for a couple of nights in a row, and I was digging it. I don't know why you stopped.
I got so tired after streaming. I was just like, this is too much energy. I just can't keep doing this, man. It was just exhausting, and I eventually just realized that it was so exhausting because I wasn't having as much fun as I wanted to. So I just kind of said, all right, it's time to stop and try a new venture.
Yeah, well, you got the good mic.
I did get a nice microphone out of that. What is this? The AKG P120. It serves me well.
Cool. Well, you know what? It serves you well when you're on people's podcast because your voice comes in perfect. Like, when we
excellent.
Oh yeah, Flex.
What's going on over there?
Flex got a new mic.
Snowball. I see that.
Now, what the hell happened to your other mic, Flex? Tell us about that.
Nothing. I put it on my other PC so I'd have 2 mics because I'm cool like that.
You're a technology evangelist, my dude. He's revolutionizing the way we do computers.
That's it. So I was watching some people streaming Cuphead today. It's out.
Yes, it is.
What is fucking Cuphead, man? I'm so stupid.
Don't you remember?
It's a 2D side-scrolling jumper shoot 'em up, but it's in the style of like 1930s animation and cartoons, like really old Disney cartoon style,
like Steamboat Willie kind of shit.
Exactly.
All right, now I remember now.
and it's getting excellent reviews, and I've watched some of the footage myself, and it looks awesome. I really want to pick it up when I get the chance.
I think it's only $20 too.
Yeah, dude. So when it goes on sale, it'll be even better.
I remember now. I don't remember yesterday. I just remember doing what they told me.
Now, one knock I've heard about it is that while the gameplay is fun and it's smooth and everything works great, it's just too hard. It's like the boss fights are just impossible to beat. It's like they're up to a certain level, you just can't beat them.
Huh.
I've been told it's like Dark Souls level of difficulty, where eventually you get it, but it takes a long time to get it down finally.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I'd like a game like that because I'm basically lazy. I like an easy game.
Well, I like a game where you kind of have the option to move along anyway, to sort of skip something if it's just too hard and you just don't feel like, grinding it forever. It's like, okay, I'll just skip that one and then go to the next one.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. There was a Simpsons game on the PS2 that lets you do that. What was it called? Hit and Run. That was it. If you failed like 6 or 7 times, it was like, would you like to skip this mission and come back later? And every time I was like, yup.
So are you a Dark Souls kind of a guy? Do you like super hard games?
No, I don't. I like some difficulty. Like, I don't want to be getting my ass kicked all the time. I just want a bit of a challenge that I can overcome, not after too long. I'll probably spend most amount of time on like an area I'm stuck on for 20 minutes before I'm like, I got to put this down and play Grand Theft Auto Online or something.
Yeah. So, have you on Rock Band? Have you 5-starred every single song on Expert?
Dude, I wish. My Xbox broke, and I haven't been able to play Rock Band in over a year.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that thing's gone. Hard drive got corrupted, and the power unit got fried. Everything's just...
wow.
And I just didn't want to get it repaired, and I didn't want to get a new one, because it was just too much work at the time. So I just said, I'm done. I'm just going to move straight to PC at this point.
Yeah. At one time, I know Guitar Hero came out on PC. I don't know if Rock Band ever did.
I don't think Rock Band did, but there's some game on the PC. I think it's called Frets on Fire. It's got like a Rock Band mod and you can download a song pack, and it's got like all the songs from the first Rock Band. So it's a nice substitute at the very least. I haven't played it myself, so I don't know how well it performs or if it performs at all for that matter. I just know that exists.
I gotta keep my Rock Band, man. I got over 800 songs.
If you're anything, you're a Rock Band guy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Guitar Hero and Rock Band.
Lucky for me, I don't need Rock Band. I got a real drum set at the other end of the house.
That's right, and you're very, very good.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting much better these days, for sure. I finally managed to stop hitting the rims by accident, which is lovely. Sounds a whole lot better when you're not hearing a random clicking in the middle of a roll.
Yeah.
So, have you had a chance to jam with other musicians much?
Not lately, no. I just kind of like just keeping to myself and doing my own thing as far as music goes along. Because like every time I go to a class, it's like they want me to play what they want me to play, and I'm just not down with that. I got to keep my own tunes when I'm doing it, or else I just don't jive, you know?
Huh. So you sing too, right?
A little bit. Just as a hobby. I don't want to do anything serious with that, though.
Could you sing and play drums at the same time, or could you do that?
I'm sure if I practiced enough, I could, but I just don't practice it.
Yeah. Well, I was watching a concert early this morning. I was watching a Led Zeppelin concert from 1970. You should check out John Bonham. Oh my God, he is an amazing drummer.
Check him out.
He was one of the greatest, man.
One part of the concert, Yeah, Keith Moon from The Who, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you're gonna have your music cred, you gotta have some Zepp.
Zep.
Oh, I just played rock and roll earlier today. The song rock and roll, not just the genre. Rock
Been
and
a
roll,
long
the
time
genre.
since I rock
It's
and
a
roll.
rock and roll.
Been a long time.
You know
been a
what?
long time.
You sound better than Robert Plant sounds now.
He's not doing too good these days, is he?
He wasn't doing too good in '96 when my ex and I saw him at the Target Center when he was with Jimmy Page on the No Quarter tour. I walked out.
Oh, no.
Wow.
He was that bad.
Dang.
Yeah,
Well,
it did sound nothing like it.
He's old, and that kind of vocals where you scream in super high registers, I think that takes a toll on you, and I don't think you can keep that up.
Yeah.
Probably. I've been told once before that when the musicians get older, they have to work with like people specially trained to work with aging musicians so that they can like work their vocal cords so that they can still sound as good as they did back in the 70s and 80s and whatnot.
Or maybe just sing songs that are just don't have those super high notes in them anymore. Because, it takes a toll on you. I can't sing super high notes. Well, I never could sing super high, but I can't sing as high as I used to be able to. But I'm probably a better guitar player than I used to be.
Yeah.
I've been doing that for the last almost a year. I sort of retook it up in November of last year. That's why I haven't been doing pretty much any gaming.
It's a commitment, to be sure. You got to spend a lot of time working at it to get any good.
Yeah. Now, how did you get started playing drums? Did you get like a toy drum when you were little or something?
I did. I got Guitar Hero 5, and then I played the guitar part for a little bit, and I was like, this is pretty fun. And then one day I found out that there was like the drum and mic extensions, so we went to like, I don't know, it was Walmart or Target or one of those big places and got the big expansion kit with the drum set and another guitar and the microphone. And then I actually learned how to play drums. Like I got started off on Guitar Hero 5. Imagine that.
You know what? That's great. That's great. I love that.
That's a testament to video games right there. I bought a video game and now I'm an actual musician. So take that, atheists. I don't know.
PMRC.
Yeah,
well, I've heard criticisms of rock bands like, well, you're just playing a plastic guitar. Well, yeah, it's fun, but like the plastic drums are actually, if you learn to play the drums in Rock Band and you can play them on hard or expert, you're actually playing the drums.
Oh, absolutely. If you're on expert, you're doing exactly what those musicians were doing when they were in the recording studio that day. Just, on a smaller scale, like a Rock Band drum set. It's just these 4 pads, so that's not actually a drum set, but it's pretty close to one. So you're pretty much doing what they were doing at that point, you just on a smaller scale.
Well, you know what? Those kind of bands that have like drums completely surrounding the drummer.
Oh,
if you ever watch that, it's like it's all cool and all, but you only have 2 hands. You can't hit them all at the same time.
You're right. And the thing is I notice a lot of the drummers that use those drum sets don't even use all of it. Like they use maybe the standard, like 3 toms and snare and just like 1 or 2 cymbals and then nothing else.
Yeah. Well,
It's just for show.
Mostly, yeah. There are some bands that do make good use of all of their drum stuff, though. Like Queen, their guy did fantastic. He used every part of that drum set in like all their concerts. It's beautiful to watch from a drummer perspective, at the very least.
Yeah, but see, I've heard some amazing drummers who had those kind of kits that just had one rack tom and 1 floor tom, a snare, hi-hat, and crash cymbals, and a ride, and that's it. And it wasn't even that big of a kick drum, like maybe a 18-inch kick drum, but it sounded kick-ass.
Is what you do with the drum set that makes it sound good.
Exactly.
I have a lot of respect for jazz musicians because they do some crazy stuff and they do it on just the most minimalistic kit possible. Fantastic.
Well, you ever watch the Stray Cats? I mean, it's like it's they're like a rockabilly '80s revival band, right? With Brian Setzer, the drummer. It was just a guitar player, a bass player playing a stand-up upright bass. And they're playing old-fashioned rockabilly, and the drummer played standing up. He had a kick drum and a stand-up snare, and that's it.
Wow.
And he had one cymbal. It was just this sort of a little cymbal. It wasn't a ride. It wasn't really a crash, and it definitely did not have a hi-hat. And they played that old-time rock and roll on that shit.
I believe they call that the splash cymbal when it's like the really tiny one that just kind of sits in front of you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it was attached to the kick drum. I think it was actually had a little metal rod coming up off of it or something.
Probably used one of the poles in the kick drum that's meant to mount toms on or something.
Anyway, it was very cool.
That's cool. Much respect.
Yeah, and of course Brian Setzer of the Stray Cats is a kick-ass guitar player.
Oh.
I mean,
I've not heard him, but I should.
Do yourself a favor.
Look him up.
Look up Stray Cats.
Stray Cats?
Yeah.
Stray Cats, the Stray Cats, yep.
All right.
He learned that style and mastered it. Now, he was like better than anybody who's ever played rockabilly on the guitar. So, what have you been up to lately?
Lately, went back to school last week, did studying Spanish and starting a film arts degree. So that's exciting. And
yeah, it is, man. That's cool.
Yeah. And as far as today, I haven't really done much. I do all my homework as soon as I get home, so I just don't have to worry about it for the rest of the night, and I can just goof off and do whatever. So not much has been going on this weekend. I did go to see the new Kingsman, The Golden Circle, today, which was fantastic.
Was it?
Oh, yeah. I went in just like with the mindset that I'm going to turn my brain off and just enjoy a movie. And, I did. I walked out of the theater in a jaunty mood going, I had a really fun time.
Cool. No, I saw the trailer for that. That looked like kind of like a 007 kind of a deal, right?
Yeah. The first Kingsman was sort of just like a huge parody on James Bond, pretty much. It's like, just James Bond, only way raunchier and way more offensive, pretty much. It was really great. If you haven't seen it, I absolutely recommend it because it is one of the surprise hits of 2015 for sure. I didn't even find out about it until this year when I saw the trailer for the second one. I was like, that looks so cool. I got to see the first one. And I saw the first one and I was just blown away. It was so amazing. And it had like an all-star cast. It had Samuel L. Jackson and Colin Firth. I was very impressed.
Wow. Now, did Samuel L. Jackson, was he playing a British guy or was he?
No, he was American. He was fully American, but he had a lisp. Like that. There's this funny story where he just like randomly gave the character he was playing a lisp, and the director really liked it, and so they just kind of kept rolling with it.
I can't even imagine Samuel L. Jackson with a lisp. That's very strange.
You'll think it's one of the funniest things of your life after you've seen it, trust me. So, first Kingsman is freaking phenomenal. Go check it out if you haven't. The second one, I will admit, is not as good as the first one. I thought there were things that happened in like the first act that should have been saved for way later. But the action was still great. The characters were compelling. There was they introduced some new characters that were also really cool. This movie, they introduced the Statesman, which is basically the American equivalent of the Kingsman, but they're all dressed up in like cowboy getup, and they distill whiskey. That's the thing about the Kingsman is their front is they're a tailor business, but the Statesman, they are whiskey distillers.
They're moonshiners.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
I really enjoyed the movie, though. I definitely recommend it.
Definitely gonna look into it. maybe Netflix it. It's like I got a friend who can get discs.
Definitely watch the first one, and if you like that one, you will definitely like the second one.
Cool. Now, I watched a movie a few months ago based on a recommendation that you tweeted out. You gave a glowing recommendation to that movie, Baby Driver.
Oh my gosh, yes! That movie was so good, man. That is actually, since those months, has become my favorite movie of all time.
Wow. Wow, of all time.
I love it, that movie, so much.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a badass driver, and he's living in a gangster world, but he's never without his fucking tunes, man.
That's what I love, is he's so in tune with the music. It's like, directors will give their characters like a thing or a niche, and sometimes it'll be really dumb. Like M. Night Shyamalan will make a character that really likes hot dogs, and just nothing but hot dog facts come out of his mouth. But like in that movie, they made his thing, music, and I was like, that's cool. That's a good thing. More movies like that, please, Hollywood.
You know what? That reminded me of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
He's the same way. He's always got his Walkman going on.
Yeah, where he's always listening to music no matter what. Just really loving his tunes. Yeah.
Did you ever have a Walkman, or are you too young for that?
No, I had a CD player, though. I actually had two. I had a Sony CD player and a Philips CD player.
All right. Well, that's kind of the Walkman for that generation. I go back to tapes. I had one with super mega monster bass.
Yeah.
Whatever. They always said that, like mega ultimate giganormous bass. And, the headphones are like this big.
But we've engineered it so that it's monster bass.
Monster.
Those are pretty cool looking phones you got there. What do you got?
Oh, I got Audio-Technica M40Xs, and I love them. Bass isn't too high. Everything's pretty well balanced. It's great for listening to pretty much everything.
Wow, that's cool. That's not a gamer's headset.
Not at all.
That's an audiophile thing.
Oh yeah, in the last year I've become like a real audiophile douchebag who just rags on gaming headsets because they sound so bad to me now.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't get me wrong, headsets are great if you're only playing games, but I feel like a lot of people want to listen to music with their phones too. And I just tell them to stay away from gaming headsets, just get like a nice set of headphones, and maybe just get like, there are microphone attachments that you can get for your headphones wires now. So I just always recommend one of those because it's basically the same amount as a gaming headset, and you're getting better audio quality overall.
Yeah. Well, I got two audiophile headphones. I've got a Sony one. It's a real old one, and I got a little later model Sennheiser 280 HD or whatever. They just dropped the price on my headphones, though. I just saw just this week. It's like, price reduced. Now they're $20 off. It's like, God damn it.
I wonder if they're going to release a new pair in the near future or something.
Maybe. You know what? They're good. They're supposed to be reference headphones. It's like if you want to do mixing and stuff, for like, production. But they don't have enough bass.
They never do, man. I'll tell you right now. There's never enough bass to go around.
Now Beats, they got bass.
Oh, Beats got bass. Beats got nothing but bass. Like I listen to Beats, and I'm like, oh, hey, my head vibrating now. That's interesting.
Well, people
like eventually
bass.
It just gets overwhelming, and then you just start to see, like, you start to pass out after a bit because you're just on bass overload.
Now, the real test for audiophile equipment is like classical music and some jazz. That's like the real audiophiles. That's how they judge.
Oh, that's not how I judge at all. What I do is I listen to one old rock and roll song, I listen to one bass heavy track from modern day, and then I listen to just one piano composure, and then that's pretty much when I make my decision.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good, I'd say. Oh, and I got to test it out with my multiplayer game of that week or whatever. I just all right, how well can I hear these footsteps? How bassy is that explosion over there?
Well, you could just run your source into a mixer that's got a EQ on it, so it's for footsteps, you can just crank up that part of the spectrum, so you can. It might sound weird, but you can hear the footsteps.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I have a mixer, but that's only because this is an XLR input, and that doesn't go into a computer, so I just have that so I can attach it to a USB and then put that in that way. Your
headphones have an XLR at the end?
Yeah. No, my microphone has the XLR. Headphones are standard 3.5 mil jack.
Wow, that's real audio style microphone.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a podcast mic. That's a...
Nuh-uh. It is professional stuff.
Yeah. Well,
and I'll tell you, I also have my headphones plugged into the amp so I can actually hear myself talk. And with this thing, I sound very nice. And it's been great for monitoring my volume in my voice so I don't over-exaggerate myself too much.
Over-enunciate.
So I don't go too overbearing with it.
That was a pretty good English accent.
No, it wasn't. It was. I didn't think so.
Now, why are you taking Spanish? Because you live so much closer to Canada, you should be taking Canadian.
I mean, maybe I should, but actually, Oregon's got a lot of immigrants, believe it or not.
That was a joke.
But yeah, we got a lot of Spanish speakers here, so I just figured while looking for a job, it'd probably be helpful to know the language.
So you got two major cities in Oregon, right? Eugene and Portland.
Correct.
And everything else is just kind of little towns and stuff, right?
Everything else is a desert, a forest, or the beach.
Yeah, so are you closer to the desert, the forest, or the beach?
Forest, absolutely. I live in the valley, the big valley in the middle of the state. And so I got beach is to the west of me, and then deserts to the east. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
Do you got bears?
Oh, yeah. Not here, but in the state, definitely.
How about deer?
Oh, yeah, deer are very much near here. We have mostly coyotes in my area, though.
Oh, wow. Do they do that typical kind of thing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sometimes I can hear them right outside the house at night. Not right next to my door, but in the backyard vicinity.
So in Red Dead, wolves were pretty dangerous. If you slowed down too much, you could get hurt by wolves. But coyotes could technically hurt you, but they're pretty weak. I think in real life, you wouldn't have to worry too much from coyotes.
Well, they are frightenable animals, but I mean, I wouldn't want to challenge one.
They're a pack animal.
Yeah, yes, they're a pack animal, so you'd challenge a pack of coyotes.
Yeah, I wouldn't get down with that, man.
They're kind of like a medium-sized dog, I guess.
I think they're a big dog. At least the ones around here, I think, are pretty big.
Now, a wolf, that's equivalent to a super big dog.
Ooh, yeah. Wolf is like Malamute, Alaskan Malamute sizes of dog right there.
That's some big-ass dogs. And in fact, some people have half-wolves as pets.
That's right. I've seen pictures and videos of those big guys.
They'll breed a German Shepherd and a wolf, and the puppies will be like half-wolves, and they'll look just like wolves, man.
It's nuts.
I heard their temperament is not super good, though.
I'm sure it's not. They're only one generation off of being completely wild animals.
Yep.
I'm sure that's a difficult job breeding German Shepherds and wolves.
Now, if you can breed a German Shepherd, which is a dog, with a wolf, Okay, obviously wolves and dogs are still closely related genetically enough so that you can interbreed. So what if you were to take a teacup chihuahua sperm, and artificially inseminate a wolf mother?
That would probably be very wrong. That's all I can think.
It'd be a half wolf, half teacup chihuahua.
You just have this big naked dog that's shaking all the time.
Yeah.
Steepy, you idiot.
Man, I didn't think of any. I'll tell you what, though. I have seen, again, a Malamute bred with a Corgi, and that actually looks pretty cute.
Wow.
I gotta say.
Does he have the short legs like the Corgi?
He's got the short legs, but he's big like the Malamute, so it's just like having a big, short dog in a way. It's a really weird phenomenon. It's the only way I can explain it.
What you want to do is you want to train him so you can use him as a stool when you're watching TV. You just prop your feet
All right,
up.
Sparky, come. It's time for my Cheeto and lemonade break.
He's just the right height for that. Yeah. Speaking of Red Dead, they just this last week they had a new trailer out for it. Did you see that, guys?
Yeah, Red Dead 2 trailer number 2, I believe.
Yeah.
Looks exciting. I'm sad at the lack of Marston in it, though. Like, John Marston was the main reason I love the first one because he's such a compelling character, but there's such a lack of him so far that I'm concerned.
Well, he's got to show up because he was part of Dutch's gang, right? And this guy is in the Dutch gang, right?
Yeah, this is... I mean, he said Dutch, and people were speculating, like, maybe it's another Dutch. I'm like, no, there's no way they dropped that name just randomly. So I imagine he's got to be at least a side character, but I expected this to be like his origin story in a way. Like, this is what he was doing when he was running with the gang, and eventually how he got out of it and ran away with his I guess, girlfriend at that time.
Well, I have faith in Rockstar. I don't think they'll blow it.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Rockstar's not going to deliver a bad product by any means. It'll probably be Game of the Year, most likely. But that's also because Rockstar's just got that reputation where they can get Game of the Year no matter what they do.
Well, part of it is that the games are good.
Well,
now, I did have one serious problem with Red Dead Redemption, and it's exactly what you're talking about. I don't want to give any spoilers to people who haven't played through the game, but the main character becomes not John Marsden. Giddy up, you dang nag. It's like, oh my God, I'm so sick of hearing that kid.
I didn't hate Jack, but like I was sad. It fit the game's narrative, I thought. I thought it was pretty good ending. And Jack didn't really get on my nerves, but then again, I didn't play the game that much after I finished it because I was like, I only wanted to play it for the story, and then after that, it was just multiplayer.
Yeah. Well, I love the story. I played through it. I got 100% twice. I
Very nice.
Evil, and I played it good.
See, I couldn't play it evil because I feel like it would take me out of the experience because John Marston's not an evil person, at least anymore in that narrative. So I just feel like if I'm not the good guy, I'm just kind of taking away from my experience.
Yeah. Well, it's not easy being evil because there's marshals are always chasing you all the fucking time. Mm-hmm. It's like Grand Theft Auto. You know, it's like when the cops are on your tail, they just will never fucking give you a break. You do a lot of running to get out. You know, the circle that shows like when you're free of them. It's like it's hard to be bad. It's easier to play it as a good character. And
in my opinion, it's just more satisfying.
Yeah, well, because you're a good guy. You're a good guy. Now, Flex, I know you're evil. You're an evil fucking bastard. I know that, of course. So, do you always pick the good guy, Flex, when you have a chance?
Fuck no, I picked a badass. I picked a dick. fucking moron, the chode. You know.
The flawed protagonist.
Yeah. It's like I like an anti-hero in a film. I hate a fucking cookie cutter good guy.
Can we say Deadpool?
Hey. The sort of gold standard for anti-heroism these days, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I saw John Wick and John Wick 2. He's a pretty good anti-hero. I mean, he's a good guy, but he kills a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. But to be fair, they're also bad people, so you end up rooting for him anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I don't know, like Breaking Bad, it's like you're rooting for these guys who are actually bad guys.
Oh, yeah.
But you're rooting for them. So
well, they started out as just like guys that needed to pay off some debts, and then you kind of just followed them as they got sucked down into this deep underworld.
Yeah, the guy who plays Gus Fring, remember him? The chicken man?
I don't remember his name.
Don't worry about it. I was going to tell a story, but...
Okay. Now, go ahead.
Well, the guy who played Gus in Breaking Bad, he's in this show I was telling you about, The Get Down. It's basically the history of hip-hop. And it takes place in New York City in the Bronx, South Bronx, in 1977. Which, the South Bronx was a fucking war zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where hip hop came out of. And it's nothing like a documentary or anything. It's just a story about these young kids who are developing and discovering hip hop, and they've got these dreams and stuff. And of course, society and the streets are trying to beat them down. And it's the main character's love interest is she's a hottie, but her dad is a holy rolling preacher. He's got like a church, and he's like super repressive, and he's played by the actor who played Gus in Breaking Bad.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, he doesn't want her to sing. She wants to be a disco star. And he only wants her to sing in church.
Disco sucks, man.
I love disco.
Of course you did.
I mean, Bee Gees, you can't go wrong, but I'll agree, most disco it doesn't hold up by any means these days.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I don't want to make this like a gang up on Yam's music taste thing. I just don't dig on it myself.
I don't know. We are family. I don't know. There's some good disco out there. I actually was a disco kid. It's like when disco came out, I was 18. The summer of 1977, disco ruled. Disco was the king, and that's when I was 18. And 18 was the age that you could go to discos and bars in Texas.
Wow.
So I would go out after work every night to the discos. It's true.
You stud.
I was a disco duck, man.
God, can you guys hear that storm?
I cannot.
No, you guys are raining or what?
Lightning, thundering.
Nah, I don't hear anything.
Good noise canceling on the mic.
Yeah. Now, you guys don't have severe weather in Oregon, right? I mean, you just have like sort of cold and sort of
Couple
rain.
thunderstorms a year at worst.
No earthquakes, no tornadoes, no hurricanes.
I mean, we had a tornado touchdown last year, but that wasn't anywhere near me. And I think they're doing okay up there now. They got a lot of relief.
Yeah. Man, Puerto Rico is fucked up big time.
Oh, yeah. They are not doing too hot down there.
No. Yeah, and our president is in a tweet war with them.
Oh, Lord. I am not happy.
Comment.
Nah, let's just. I'm gonna take this helm of this ship and just turn it around and go back to the other way. Stay out of those waters. There's icebergs in there.
Yeah, no shit. No shit. Take a knee. Oh God. Well, I'd say that we got ourselves caught up a little bit here. Next time we see you, your hair will probably be like down to your toes, man.
You won't even see me. I'll just be it at that point. I'll just be down here like.
Well, we like it. We like it. So if you're still with us here and you're still watching Bulletproof Underwear episode number 234, congratulations. Now get back to work in the fry kitchen. So I've been your co-host, Yam Juice.
And I've been your co-host, Flex.
And once again, we would like to thank the coolest rockin' dude in all of Oregon, Mr. Aaron Yahoo!
It was good having you.
Oh, it was great talking to you guys.
Good seeing you, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking good.
You look good too, man.
Thank you. I'm glad
All right.
everything's going good, man.
So y'all know what's coming. You're in danger of your face freezing like that. All right, so there probably is just one goddamn thing left to do. Take us out, Mr. Flex.